casinos. Anybody that you'd like to see perform, they're on stage. I've got one of our good friends, Kix Brooks. Of course, you hear him.
Good.
He's on the American Country Countdown on the Coyote each and every Sunday morning.
Fun, love being in Vegas.
You know, a nice crowd gathered out here today. Thank you for joining.
Thanks. I hate it when nobody shows up.
So, last night was your first show over at the Coliseum.
It was. We had a ball, too. We're going into year number 5. You know, it was one of those deals where we were going to do like 3 or 4 weeks or something like that, and next thing you know, you're camped out, which we love Vegas. You'd expect me to say that being sitting here, but I think our first show at Caesars before they even built the Coliseum was in '91.
Whoa.
So yeah, and we did the Elvis Room over at the Hilton before they closed it down for 12, 13 years in a row. Always finished our tours there and let the band and crew bring their families out, you know, made it kind of a fun hangout. So yeah, when they called us, of course, Ronnie and I quit in 2010, and our good red-headed friend Reba came up with this idea to come out here, and we're like, hell, I don't care, we'll sing them again. And so I'm really glad we did, because it was a good reunion for us, and we just kind of got tired, you know. 20 years, we never took a break because we had such a great band and crew, all that. We didn't want to lose anybody, and now they're all working for Keith Urban and Kenny Chesney like we knew they would be.
Yeah.
So we waited as long as we felt like we could, and man, that 4 or 5 year break did us a lot of good, because we're having as much fun as we ever did, you know, in the early days, and it's great to get back and sing them, and appreciate y'all supporting us.
You know, one of the things that we were talking about off air was this brand new reloaded version of all the Brooks and Dunn classics that you recorded with a ton of the current country crop.
Yeah.
They did a great job, too.
It was a lot of fun. I think Luke Combs really kind of inspired us to do that. He sent this acoustic version that he had posted, A Brand New Man, because God, I love this song and you guys and whatever, and you know how much your music meant to me and all that kind of stuff. And then Casey Musgraves was doing this real kind of LSD version of Neon Moon, you know, and Ronnie sent that to me one night, and he goes, listen to this. I went, wow, that's different, but that's cool. And our manager showed up one day and called a meeting, and he goes, guys, I've been talking to some of these young acts out here, and I said, I think there's a project if you guys want to do this. And we're like, oh, I don't think there'd, you know, probably be enough that would want to. And he showed up with a whole album's worth of acts that wanted to do our songs. So we jumped in the studio, man, and it was so much fun. And it was different because, like Luke Combs, John Party came in, he goes, I want to do Next Broken Heart, man, but I don't want to do something weird. I want to do it like you guys did it. We're like,
yeah,
jump in the sound booth and let's start singing. So it was really fun. Some of them we kind of covered it like we did, and then some acts had, you know, really different ideas about how they wanted to do it. We had no pre-production, no like, we should do this way or that way. We just walked in the studio, sat down with the band, started talking about wouldn't it be cool if, and next thing we knew, we popped out with an album. I'm really proud of it. I think it's fun.
If you're just joining us, Kix Brooks kicking off NFR Central here at Cowboy Christmas on 102.7 Rodeo Radio. Thank you again for stopping by.
Oh, good. Great to be here.
We got Mitchell Tenpenny coming in at 1 o'clock, and when we come back, I want to talk a little bit about Mitchell Tenpenny.
Cool.
What do you say we go back to where it all began? It's one of my favorites, man.
Back when... Oh, song you mean?
Yeah.
Gosh. We're going back to the cavemen, all right?
Let's kick this one off. It's Brand New Man on 102.7 Rodeo Radio. Cowboy Christmas as we're kicking off 10 days of cowboy chaos is what I call it. Kix Brooks is joining us here in the house. Thank you, Kix, for coming by.
Thanks. You know, thanks for playing that song too. That's actually the first song Ronnie and I ever wrote. We got introduced by this record company guy, and he said, I'm looking for a duo. He'd already signed Alan Jackson, so he had a boy singer, and he didn't want to sign either one of us as artists. He said, but I need a duo. The Judds are breaking up, you know, and this could be a real opportunity. And he goes, we're like, it just doesn't make any sense. But he said, well, see if you can write a song together. So the next day, Ronnie and I got together. And Ronnie had these couple of lines like, I saw the light, I was baptized by the flame in your eyes. And I said, you know, he had that kind of melody going. And he said, so what are you thinking for a title? He said, well, I was thinking like I'm a changed man. And I go, that's cool. He goes, I love it. So what about Brand New Man? He goes, it's okay with me. So we kind of got it all fleshed out, and a songwriter buddy who wound up producing our first 5 albums, Don Cook, who we wrote a lot of hits, the 3 of us did together. But we played it for him, and he goes, how about Born to Love Again? We went, oh, you just got a third. So that's how songwriting works. You know? Anyway, we wrote that, and Next Broken Heart, the week that we met. And this same guy gave us a record deal and rode a bus for 20 years trying to figure out how to get off it.
Now, you're here in Vegas at the Coliseum for how many more nights?
We'll be here this weekend, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, and then we're back next week on Tuesday and through the weekend.
It's the Reba, Brooks, and Dunn Together in Las Vegas tour. And I hope you all make a chance to get out there to see the show because it's amazing. Now, last night was your first show back.
It was, yes. Of course, our band, before we came out here, we hadn't played, and it's been maybe June was like the last time we were out here, so we hadn't played together in that long. And they're like, well, could we have 3 days of rehearsal before we went out? And we said, no. no rehearsal. So we went in the day before we loaded in on Tuesday night, and we sang 2 or 3 songs to make sure everything was working. And so it was really fun last night because we're trying to remember, you know, it's when you're really paying attention. You're not on autopilot like when you've been out doing 60 shows in a row. And it really is one of the fun things about this show. There's a lot of stuff going on that stage that doesn't happen the day before or the day after, you know, especially with Reba because she's so good on her feet. You just love saying stuff that you know is going to make her mad and see what comes back, you know. There's a lot of fun and games out there.
We have an artist coming in a little bit later on here this afternoon, joining us live at Cowboy Christmas here live with Mitchell Tenpenny. Now, he's an up-and-comer, but he's actually got a lot of ties to Nashville. He's not new.
He does. His grandmother's name was Donna Hilly, and she was the head of Tree Publishing, which signed me like 30 years ago. And Tree has Hank Williams, Merle Haggard, Harlan Howard, I mean, every great, Roger Miller, all the greats of all time. So it was the #1 biggest independent publishing company, and then Sony bought it. So now we administer everything from Michael Jackson to the Beatles, including all those greats. So wow. Big publishing company. So that was Mitchell's grandmother. His mom booked all our demo sessions and all that stuff, and known her forever. So he grew up when he was 1 year old, he was in the music business. He didn't even know it. So he comes from music royalty, but man, he's got his own thing going. Don't y'all like his songs and stuff? I think he's really unique, a great artist. So
Mitchell's going to be joining us live about 1 o'clock this afternoon. So we do hope if you're listening, you can make it down to the convention center. It's free admission for Cowboy Christmas, and it's insane. There's so many cool things here for everybody, like 900,000 square feet of
It's crazy. I just pinged Ronnie when I was coming over. I said, I'm going down where they make Christmas trees out of horseshoes.
True story. All right. So if you can make it down for that, please do. Everybody, a nice round of applause for Kix Brooks, who's joined us here live.
Thank you so much. Very nice.
1027 Rodeo Radio. And I want to close out with one of my other all-time favorites. There's so many of my favorite Brooks and Dunn songs, but I like this one. She's Not the Cheating Kind.
We'll get you therapy, man.
So 1027 Rodeo Radio.